Namaskar and good morning, good afternoon and good evening. Greetings from India. On behalf of Nivaaran, the mediators of the Supreme Court, I extend a very warm welcome to all our distinguished guests, participants and guest speakers to the closing ceremony of the 6th Virtual International Summer School on Mediation 2025. This edition of the Mediation Summer School was organized by Nivaaran in collaboration with the Singapore International Mediation Center and the Commonwealth Lawyers Association. It was truly a memorable and enriching experience, interacting and engaging with everyone. And now this edition of the summer school has come to an end, and we look forward to having many more such programs in the future. I'm Prabha Swami, your moderator for the evening. I'm an advocate, a mediator, and a trustee and treasurer of Nivaaran. We are privileged and honored to have here with us today as the chief guest, Honorable Mr. Justice Surya of the Supreme Court of India, and as our guests of honor, Ms. Sophie Stanbrook, Vice President of the Commonwealth Lawyers Association, and Mr. Meng, who is the CEO of the Singapore International Mediation Center. Our program for the evening will commence with a welcome address by Mr. Rakesh Khanna, followed by a summary of the 10 lectures of the summer school by Mr. Aruneshwar Gupta. And thereafter, we will be addressed by our guests of honor and then by our chief guest, Honorable Mr. Justice Surya. Thereafter, Ms. Abha Sharma will deliver the closing remarks. I now request Mr. Rakesh Khanna, who is a senior advocate, former president of the Supreme Court Bar Association, member MCPC, and a senior mediator and trustee in Nivaaran, to kindly deliver the welcome address. Mr. Khanna.
Thank you, Prabhaji. My Lord, Honorable Mr. Justice Surya, Judge, Supreme Court of India, Ms. Sophie Stanbrook, Vice President, Americans, Commonwealth Lawyers Association, Mr. Chuan Meng, CEO of the Singapore International Mediation Center, my esteemed colleagues hearing the dais, President Nivaaran, Mr. R. Santana Krishnan, distinguished guests from across the world, ladies and gentlemen, and my dear brother and sister colleagues. On behalf of the Nivaaran mediators of the Supreme Court of India, I warmly welcome you all to the closing ceremony of the 6th Virtual International Summer School on Mediation 2025. Organized in association with Commonwealth Lawyers Association and the Singapore Mediation Center. At the very outset, I must acknowledge the invaluable contribution and support extended by the Commonwealth Lawyers Association, CLA, whose decade-long commitment to advancing the rule of law and alternative dispute resolution across the Commonwealth nations has provided a rich framework and powerful outreach for this event. We are equally honored to partner with Singapore International Mediation Center, SIMC, a global leader in mediation services and training, whose expertise in developing high-quality mediation curricula and facilitating cross-border disputes resolution has significantly shaped the contents and practical learning experiences offered throughout this summer school. I am proud to say that together, Nivaaran, CLA, and SIMC were able to provide global perspective, practical expertise, and institutional strength to this program, which enabled the creation of a dynamic virtual space where emerging and experienced mediators from diverse backgrounds could learn, exchange ideas, and hone their skills. Over the past 10 days, we have engaged in dialogues, reflection, and learning, united by our belief in mediation as a powerful tool for conflict resolution. Now, as we mark the successful conclusion of this 6th edition of the Virtual Summer School on Mediation with this closing ceremony, it is indeed my privilege to welcome our esteemed chief guest, my Lord Honorable Mr. Justice Surya, whose leadership has been instrumental in advancing the mediation as cornerstone of India's justice system. As the Executive Chairman of the National Legal Services Authority of India and Chairman of the Mediation and Conciliation Project Committee of Supreme Court of India, His Lordship has been at the forefront of integrating the mediation into the Indian legal framework. Under his guidance, NALSA and MCPC launched a 90-day Mediation for the Nation campaign in 2025, aiming to resolve pending cases across various courts through mediation. My Lord Justice Surya has also been a vocal advocate for the role of mediation in resolving disputes under Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, IBC. At the launch of the book, Mediation in Insolvency, a game changer in Viksit Bharat, His Lordship prudently highlighted how mediation can serve as a valuable tool in the resolving of disputes under IBC, emphasizing his potential to rescue companies by avoiding expensive, prolonged litigation. As an interesting side note, my Lord Justice Surya, in his characteristically charming candidness, has himself acknowledged his own transformation from skepticism to advocacy for mediation at this very same event. Furthermore, recognizing the diversity of India, Justice Surya has also championed the development of interactive legal aid apps that communicate in regional dialects to provide free legal guidance to marginalized communities and make mediation accessible across the country. Through these initiatives, His Lordship has not only transformed his own perspectives on mediation, but has also played a pivotal role in shaping a more inclusive and efficient justice system in India. We are equally privileged to welcome our guest of honor, Ms. Sophie Stanbrook, Vice President, Americas Commonwealth Lawyers Association, and Mr. Chuan Meng, CEO, Singapore Mediation Center. Ms. Stanbrook is seasoned legal professional with over 2 decades of legal experience working across Caribbean and UK. She has deep expertise in international development law and human rights and brings a global, community-focused lens to legal reforms and mediation. Mr. Chuan Meng has over 30 years of legal and corporate leadership experience. Under his stewardship, SIMC has become a regional hub for commercial mediation, a strong advocate of trust-based, business-friendly resolutions. Mr. Meng's leadership continues to elevate mediation across the globe. I also welcome Mr. Aruneshwar Gupta, Senior Advocate and Trustee of Nivaaran, who will be presenting a synthesis of the past 10 days stimulating lectures and workshops. I must also acknowledge that we have received message from Mr. Lee Franceschi, Assistant Secretary General of Commonwealth of Nations. Due to his pre-scheduled flight, he could not be personally present, but my colleague Mr. R. Santanakrishnan will read his message during the program. As we draw this edition to a close, let us remember that mediation is more than a process. It is a philosophy. It encourages us to listen with empathy, to speak with purpose, and to resolve with mutual respect. The words of Nelson Mandela echo powerfully in these moments, and I quote, "If you want to make peace with your enemy, you have to work with your enemy. Then he becomes your partner. Unquote. As we leave this summer school, may we carry forward the knowledge, the spirit, and the commitment to apply what we have learned, not only in the formal settings, but also in our communities, our institutions, and our everyday lives. Once again, I thank our dignitaries, our speakers, our participants, and our partners for making this summer school a success. Let us continue together to build a more peaceful, more just, and more compassionate world. One conversation at a time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Khanna. I now request Mr. Aruneshwar Gupta, who is a senior advocate and trustee in Nivaaran, to kindly give us a summary of the lectures of the summer school. Mr. Gupta.
Thank you, Prabha. Honorable Justice Surya, Judge, Supreme Court of India, and Chairman MCPC. Mrs. Sophie Stanbrook, Vice President Americas, Commonwealth Lawyer Association. Mr. Chuan Meng, CEO, Singapore International Mediation Center. Esteemed speakers, senior mediators, distinguished dignitaries, and dear participants. With immense pride and humility, I present the summary of 11 days of the 6th International Virtual Summer School on Mediation, organized by Nivaaran in collaboration with the Commonwealth Lawyer Association and Singapore Mediation Center. In the next 7 minutes, I shall take you through the 11 hours, 28 minutes marathon, featuring 15 eminent speakers and dignitaries, 12 accomplished hosts and moderators, 82 engaging questions answered by our experts, and a total participation of about 4,185 attendees from across the globe. The summer school was inaugurated on 31st July 2025 by Honorable Justice B.R. Gavai, Chief Justice of India, with Mr. Stephen Thiru, President CLA, Mr. George Lim, Chairman SIMC, and Mr. Vikas Singh, Senior Advocate and President SCBA, as our guest of honor. Stephen Thiru urged the recognition of mediation as a primary dispute resolution mechanism, not merely an alternative. He reaffirmed CLA's unwavering commitment toward training across the Commonwealth. George Lim shared insights from SIMC, mediation's practices, urged India to rectify the 2019 Singapore Convention, and noted the global shift towards compulsory mediation. Vikas Singh traced the legislative evolution of mediation in India from Section 89 CPC to the Arbitration Act and Conciliation Act 1996, culminating in the Mediation Act of 2023. Mr. R. Satyan Krishnan, President Nivaaran and Life President CLA, recounted Nivaaran's pandemic origin and its vision of a borderless mediation culture. Chief Justice Gavai reaffirmed mediation's crucial role in easing judicial burdens and preserving relationships. He informed about the high settlements rates in IPR and family disputes. The topic for day one was historical perspective and introduction to mediation, with Mrs. Diana Asonaba Dapa as speaker and Mrs. Sangeeta Malhotra as the host. Diana traced mediation journey from ancient Indian, Chinese, and Greek tradition to modern ADR framework, distinguishing from litigation and arbitration, and highlighting the confidentiality, active listening, and the mindset shift required for lawyers turned mediators. The topic of day two was mediation, pros and cons, with online focus with Mr. J.M. Sharma, Senior Advocate, as speaker and Sakshi Banga as host. Mr. Sharma reviewed legislative milestones, including Section 89 of CPC, MCPC 205, and the Mediation Act of 2023. He highlighted flexibility, efficiency, and creativity solutions as key strength while noting digital divide, privacy, and communication challenges. He recommended online mediation for commercial disputes and in-person sensitive family matters. The topic for day three were interpersonal skills. The Path to Understanding, with Mia Forbes Perry as speaker and Messrs. Vinita Sahai as host. Mia underscored empathy, validation and emotional regulation, and mediation essentials, expounding 5 principles: self-regulation, acceptance of differences, self-esteem, mutual respect and understanding, without necessarily agreeing. She encouraged breaking binary thinking and embracing cultural curiosity. The topic for day 4 was negotiation in mediation and methods, with Adamya Raj as speaker and Sunita Sharma as host. Adamya contrasted positional and interest-based negotiations, explained Bhatna, Vatna, Zopa, and stressed that the mediators must effectively address power imbalances, probing beyond stated positions and uncover the true interests. The topic for day 5 was conflict management and resolution, with Mr. J.P. Singh as the speaker and Diksha Malhotra as the host. Mr. Singh explained conflict types and styles, elaborated SCARF, that is status, certainty, autonomy, relatedness, fairness, and Steben models, and strongly advocated collaboration and transformational mediation for lasting relationship repairs. The topic for day 6 was breaking through impasse, with A.J. Jawad as speaker and Asta Sharma as host. Mr. Jawad identified cultural, cognitive, and emotional barriers to settlement, offering tools such as reality testing, reframing, staged issue tackling, humor, breaks, and constructive lawyer engagement, viewing impasse as the opportunity for creativity. The topic for day 7 was Trinity Principles of Mediation, with Mr. Brian Spears as a speaker and Mandakini Sharma as host. Brian detailed the trinity of neutrality, confidentiality, and self-determination, linking them to the Indian and international framework, and emphasized trust building, mediators' competence, and ethical boundaries. The topic for day 8 was mediation advocacy, with Honorable Justice Vishisht Kokaram as the speaker and Smita Shukla as host. Justice Kokaram defined the humanist attorney, empathy, legal skills, and problem solving, and introduced the peace framework. Now, this is very interesting. The peace would mean perspective, emotional intelligence, attitude of trust, creativity, and enlightenment. The topic for day 9 was mediation and sustainable development goals, with Mr. Rajiv Datta as the speaker and Priyanka Mathur as the host. Rajiv mapped mediation role in achieving all 17 SDGs through real-world example, highlighting empathy, responsibility, and multi-stakeholders cooperation. The topic for day 10 was the Singapore Convention and Mediation, with Mr. Joe Terrado as a speaker and Devrat as the host. Joe explained the convention's scopes, requirements, and enforcement mechanism, comparing pre- and post-conventional realities, noting adoption by 58th states, and Mr. Chuan just said 59th state has also joined, and predicting, that is Brazil, and predicting its expansion. Throughout the summer school, the enthusiasm of participants was truly inspiring, marked by lively exchanges, probing questions, and insightful observations. The core theme across sessions was the mediation as the primary justice path, a decisive shift from alternate to mainstream. Skill beyond law, emotional intelligence, cultural sensitivity, and negotiation design are as vital as legal statutes. Technology promise and risk, expanding reach, but demanding robust safeguards and privacy, access and trust, ethics and integrity, neutrality, confidentiality, and self-determination remain the bedrock of credibility. And finally, global relevance. From advancing SDGs to enable cross-border mediation, bridges divides and fosters unity. The 6th International Virtual School as on Mediation 2025 was not just a training program. It was a global dialogue on the future of dispute resolution, uniting Asian wisdom with modern practice and local sites with international best practices. At Nivaaran, we take the pride in knowing that participants now live with practical tools, Bhatna, Vatna, Scarf, Steben, Zopa, and impasse breaking strategies, a broadened vision, a deep commitment to uphold ethics, foster trust, and champions mediation in every sphere of life. Nivaaran's message is clear and resolute. Mediation is not an alternate, it is an essential pathway to peace, justice, and sustainable relationship in the 21st century. Thank you for walking this journey with us. Together we carry forward the torch of dialogue, dignity, and lasting resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gupta. Our guest of honor today is Ms. Sophie Stanbrook. She is the Vice President of the Commonwealth Lawyers Association. She has over 25 years of experience in corporate, commercial, and finance law. Her journey with the Commonwealth Lawyers Association began when she attended their conference in 1996. She has recently been appointed as Vice President of the Association for the Americas Hub. Ms. Stanbrook also co-chairs the Human Rights and Rule of Law Committee and serves as editor of the CLA Americas Hub newsletter. She is also the driving force behind the Women in Law movement in the Turks and Caicos Islands, which empowers and supports women in the legal profession. I now request Mr. Brian Spears to kindly address us. Mr. Brian Spears, Ms. Sophie Stanbrook, I think, is having some network problem or she's traveling. So could I kindly request Mr. Brian Spears to address us?
Thank you indeed. Yes, I've been asked to step in somewhat at the last moment. And I know that you would really much prefer to see and hear from Sophie, who is all of the things that your generous comments, Prabha, have made about her, which follow equally generous remarks from Mr. Khanna. So on behalf of the CLA, because it was wearing that hat that Sophie was invited to speak, and I am very pleased to say that the CLA is once again delighted to have been party to this Nivaaran summer school. And once again, it has exceeded expectations, and the content of the different speakers throughout the last 10 sessions have been, well, I can't comment too much on one session that I delivered, but certainly all the others were excellent. And I've really enjoyed those that I was able to view. I would like to thank the Secretariat and the team of Nivaaran for organizing the speakers and identifying and choosing such really excellent and informative topics. I know behind the scene there is a technical team controlling this Zoom call, facilitating connections, muting people when they need to be muted, and surprising people, as happened to me when I was muted in an unexpected fashion. But the technical team, and I'm sure Rahul is behind the scenes somewhere, have done a brilliant job. All of the speakers have been illuminating, insightful, and inspiring, and the CLA are delighted that such a roster and faculty of speakers was pulled together. And a feature of this particular Nivaaran Summer School has been the gracious hosting that each speaker availed of, and there were some wonderful introductions at the beginning and summaries at the end. So to all the hosts, I say thank you. And of course, we have very distinguished chief guests, both at the opening ceremony with the Chief Justice, and today, and sitting patiently, is Mr. Justice Kant, who we look forward to hearing from very soon. And I thank you, sir, for all that you do for mediation. I have said before, and I say again, that India is leading the way in mediation internationally. The Mediation Day recently organized, the prominence of 350, 400 participants in this summer school, and the legislation that you have are all harbingers of a change of approach to disputes and the embracing of a philosophy and a process that enables disputation to be handled proportionately, carefully, empathetically, and with excellent outcomes that are achieved less expensively and likely more quickly. The emphasis that has been placed on appropriate training cannot either be dismissed lightly or repeated too infrequently. Training is vital. Your training as a lawyer takes you into the world of lawyer, but your training as a mediator takes you into the world of resolution, compromise, agreement, and principled closure of matters. This summer school has contributed to India's leadership in the world of mediation, and the mediation fraternity of the Supreme Court are to be congratulated. And on behalf of the Commonwealth Lawyers Association, I do congratulate and thank you for letting us be part of this and for arranging such an excellent contribution, all of which kept to time amazingly and was, I say, really very well organized. Finally, I just thank my good friend Santan. Once again, Santan has WhatsApped people in a relentless fashion at any hour of the time or day. And Santan, go home and sleep, because you have been doing nothing other than promoting and communicating, and we appreciate your enthusiasm and expertise. So thank you very much, Nivaaran, for a marvelous session, and it's great to step in and make these few remarks during your closing ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Spears. We appreciate you joining us at such short notice. Thank you so much. Our other guest of honor today is Mr. Meng. He is the Chief Executive Officer, Singapore International Mediation Center, SIMC. He's an experienced lawyer of more than 30 years, working out of Beijing, Hong Kong, Sydney, and Singapore. Mr. Meng has advised senior leadership of MNCs as lead counsel on legal and regulatory issues, and has managed a wide range of emerging market risks with leading international best practices. Leveraging his deep regional experience, Mr. Meng is currently leading SIMC to promote mediation to resolve complex commercial cross-border disputes in the Asia-Pacific region. He has trained judges, senior lawyers, and businesses across Asia in international mediation trainings and workshops. Mr. Meng is an accredited mediator of the Singapore International Mediation Center. I now request Mr. Meng to kindly address us.
Oh,
Sir.
Thank you so much. Let me first of all thank all the organizers for the wonderful work that's done. It's hard for me to add to what Brian has said so eloquently. Really thanking everyone, and in particular to Justice Surya Khan as well for being our special guest of honor, and also for Santan for doing a wonderful work both in front of the Zoom and behind the Zoom and everywhere on the internet, whether it's WhatsApp or I myself, I probably received, I don't know how many WhatsApp from Santan just over the last few days. It just shows his dedication. And it's really a spirit of this passion that you have for mediation. I've been visiting India for more than a decade. And in my early years as General Counsel for IBM, but really in the last 5 years as the CEO of SIMC, I've seen tremendous changes throughout India in terms of the acceptance, the desire to adopt mediation as a way of resolving your disputes. I mean, litigation is important, arbitration is important, but what we have seen is really this passion that you have that has enthused not only your practitioners, your judges, your arbitrators, your businesses. And this is the change that I've seen right across, whether it is your major cities in Delhi, your Mumbai, Bangalore, you name it. And I've been to many of these cities and see the changes year on year. So I want to really congratulate Nivaaran for the excellent work that you have been doing. You are part of this change that has made a difference. I mean, to train 4,000 people is no easy feat. And you have done it with such excellence, such ability to capture the topics and to make it alive for people is amazing. And I think that when I look across the world and, in SIMC, we do visit many, many countries around the world. I see India as really the leading light when it comes to making the change Brian mentioned in legislation, in the support that you have from the judiciary, from your practitioners, from your businesses. I mean, that is really unparalleled when it comes to how mediation has, over the last couple of years, made such a significant change. So I want to really congratulate all of you for your hard work. Thank you for your contributions. Thank you for the love that you have to help parties to resolve very difficult issues. We've seen, whether it's in SIMC or in India, very, very difficult issues, both internally, domestically, and for SIMC, the cross-border disputes that we see between Indian companies and companies all over the world. And I think it was mentioned by Mr. Gupta that in your 10 days or so, you change history in the sense that you've caused Brazil to now also be part of the acceding to the convention on 6th of August, just 5 days ago. So, you should hold more of these so that more major economies like Brazil, which is really the 10th economy in the world, to accede and to sign up. And I look forward to the day when I'm sure very soon where India will also accede to the convention. And I think your work is really the solid foundation which the accession of India to the Singapore Convention on Mediation will happen in the near future. So again, thank you, congratulations, and a job well done.
Thank you, Mr. Meng, so much. Like Mr. Rakesh Khanna had informed us, we have received a message from Professor Louis Franceschi, Assistant Secretary General, Commonwealth of Nations. Could I request Mr. Santana Krishnan to kindly share the same?
Thank you, Prabha. I'm just chipping in to read out the message from Professor Louis Franceschi. He was on his way to the airport to catch a flight to Nigeria on an assignment of the Commonwealth. And in the meantime, he penned down a small message to be read out. And here it is. Good afternoon, friends. Namaste. Nivaaran was born from the vision of the Supreme Court Bar Association and the Mediation and Conciliation Project Committee to make mediation the oil of justice. For justice without mediation can grind with friction delayed by cost and mistrust. Mediation smooths the gears. It replaces accusation with dialogue, suspicion with empathy, and conflict with understanding. It preserves relationships, delivers fairness, and heals without leaving scars. I am so pleased with the work done by Nivaaran to make mediation not just an alternative to litigation, but the preferred path, structured, inclusive, and ethical. Justice is not only about winning cases, it is about restoring peace, and mediation is the quiet strength that makes peace possible. Congratulations, Nivaaran, and may your spirit and desire spread across the Commonwealth. Thank you.
Those were indeed very encouraging and positive thoughts. We thank him for the same. Our chief guest this evening is Honorable Mr. Justice Surya, a sitting judge of the Supreme Court of India. Justice Surya was elevated as a permanent judge to the Punjab and Haryana High Court in 2004. He assumed the role of Chief Justice of the High Court of Himachal Pradesh in 2017 and was elevated to the Supreme Court of India on 24/5/2019. Justice Suryakant has been actively involved in various legal forums and organizations. Notably, he served as a member of the governing body of the National Legal Services Authority for 2 consecutive terms from 23/2/2007 to 22/2/2011. Additionally, his membership in various committees of the Indian Law Institute underscores his dedication to legal scholarship and reform. Throughout his career, Justice Kant has been a prominent figure in national and international legal circles, organizing and participating in prestigious conferences. He is also currently the chairman of the Supreme Court Legal Services Committee. His judicial temperament and commitment to upholding the principles of justice has earned him widespread respect with the legal fraternity. Would I kindly request Justice Suryakant to please address us? Oh, we can't hear you, Judge. We can't hear you.
Oh,
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Am I audible
Yes.
now? Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. Ms. Sophie Stanbrook may be in absentia. Mr. Brian Spears, Mr. Meng, earlier one, the office bearers of the Commonwealth Legal Lawyers Association and Chief Executive Officer of the Singapore International Mediation Center. Mr. Brian also, I believe, is a very senior office bearers in the international mediation platforms and the Commonwealth Lawyers Association. From our India side, Mr. Santhanan Krishnan, the president of the Commonwealth Lawyers Association, Mr. Rakesh Khanna, senior advocate, Mr. Aruneshwar Gupta, senior advocate. We have among us Ms. Prabha, Swami, Sharma advocates and other office bearers of the and trustees of the Nivaaran. Distinguished office bearers of the Supreme Court Bar Association, senior advocates and other distinguished members of the bar. I can see on the screen, some of them have joined us. We have Jawad also from Hyderabad, very kind of him that he is very an eminent name in the field of mediation is also with us. Distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues and dear participants, a very good evening, morning and maybe afternoon, depending upon the geographical locations of all my friends who are participating in this event. It's both a privilege and pleasure to join you today for the closing ceremony of the 6th Virtual International Summer School on Mediation, organized by Nivaaran. Over the past 2 weeks, as Mr. Gupta, learned senior advocate and one of the trustees of the Nivaaran, very eloquently explained the events that have taken place in the past. Almost more than 11 days, you have collectively immersed yourself in a rich academic and experiential journey exploring mediation from its historical origins to the modern avatar, I would say. Technology-enabled expressions, engaging with the nuances of interpersonal skills, negotiation methods, and conflict management. Probably every possible subject concerning mediation has been deliberated and discussed in all these very academically sound sessions. The gathering represents far more than a mere academic exercise. It's a reaffirmation of an ancient truth that disputes, however complex, need not always end in a winner and a loser. They can and often should end in understanding. And mediation, as a discipline and as a practice, is the art and the science of enabling such understanding. The idea of resolving disputes through dialogue is as old as civilization. In fact, in our own country, I think the earlier our domain experts must have explained the old panchayat system in the villages, the elders' councils, various community-based mechanisms. They have been offering a space where all grievances were aired, tempers cooled, and compromise forced. Ancient texts and even epics, the old books also, they carry a lot of examples of the intermediaries striving and working hard to avert conflict before it escalated even to a war. These traditional methods, though informal, carried profound legitimacy because they were rooted in trust and shared community values. Yet, as a societies grow more complex, as disputes acquired cross-border, commercial, and even digital dimensions, the forms of mediation have had to evolve. Today, mediation is no longer just an informal village gathering. It's a very sophisticated, structured process, recognized and encouraged by modern legal systems, codified in statutes, as Brian pointed out, that how the India has also progressed well with a new statute now, supported by trained professionals, and in many instances, integrated with technology. I would like to emphasize a recent landmark development by the Supreme Court, as has been pointed out by Mr. Khanna in his opening address. We have launched a Mediation for Nation campaign from July 1st, and now we have extended the date to September 30, 2025. The basic purpose of this structured 90 days mediation campaign across India is that at every judicial level, from subordinate courts, as we call the subdivisional courts, to high courts, the aim is to settle a wide variety of disputes through mediation, especially the matrimonial cases, accident claim cases, domestic violence, check bounce matters, commercial disputes, consumer complaints, debt recovery, land acquisition, and many more subjects which were earlier thought of unconventionally not a part of the mediation process. We have attempted to include and identify even those cases also. Under this drive, my office informed me, and very encouragingly, and it's a very, very positive impact, that as on 31st July 2025, courts across India have identified more than 100 million cases, out of which 5,18,460 cases have been identified as eligible cases for mediation. Those have been, in fact, referred to mediators, and the sessions are being conducted offline, online, or hybrid mode. While this goes on to demonstrate that people are reposing huge faith in mediation, but at the same time, my friends, we need an honest assessment of requirement of more mediators and adequate infrastructure to tackle all the eligible cases. The entire campaign is being closely and continuously monitored by, as explained, we have a committee in Supreme Court, which incidentally I am looking after. The National Legal Service Authority is also co-partner with the Supreme Court committee, and it's a coincidence that I'm heading both the organizations. Therefore, the working collegiality and the relationship between the two entities is really a very ideal platform, and this is how that we are very, very positive and optimistic about outstanding results ultimately when this campaign comes to an end. The final data on the total number of cases referred and settled will be by 6th October 2025. And as usual, I am extremely confident that this combined effort will be a remarkable success. It's worth noting that mediation is not just a means of reducing the burden on courts, though it is a significant benefit. The deeper value lies in the quality of justice it delivers. Court judgments are necessarily framed in terms of rights and liabilities. Mediation, by contrast, has the flexibility to address emotions, restore relationships, and craft bespoke solutions. In many disputes, particularly those involving families, businesses, or communities, such outcomes are more valuable than a binding order from a court of law. In this backdrop, this summer school has been both timely and forward-looking. Your sessions have spanned the historical evolution of mediation, examined online mediation, and delved into human skills, listening, empathy, patience, and cultural sensitivity that make a mediator a very effective component, a very strong tool of dispute resolution. It's also very significant, and you did a very commendable job when you explored the online mediation. The COVID-19 pandemic, while disruptive in countless ways, accelerated the legal profession's digital transformation. We have learned that mediation can transcend physical boundaries, enabling parties from different geographies to meet virtually with significant savings in time and cost. But technology is a tool. It is the human element that lends mediation its soul. An online platform may facilitate communication, but it is the mediator's skill in managing tone, reading verbal and non-verbal cues, and creating a safe space that truly determines the success. A common misconception is that mediation is simply about splitting the difference. In reality, mediation is about uncovering the underlying interests behind the stated positions, about reframing the conflict so that parties see each other not as adversaries, but as partners in problem solving. This requires mastery of interpersonal skills. You have examined negotiation strategies, which are indispensable in mediation. But a good mediator is not merely a neutral facilitator for bargaining. A good mediator is a custodian of process fairness, an empathic listener, a reality check provider, and at times, a creative architect of options that the parties themselves have not considered and never thought of. Conflict management, as all of you being experts know, another subject of your course, which you really did a very good innovative idea. It reminds us that disputes are not always to be extinguished like fires. Sometimes they are to be transformed into opportunities for improving relationships, better systems, or clarified expectations. This is particularly relevant in workplaces, business partnerships, and community intersections where the people in dispute must continue to work together after the mediation concludes. Your summer school has also carried an international outlook, and that's why it's rightly been captioned also as an international summer school in a way, because mediation is increasingly central to resolving cross-border commercial disputes, aided by instruments such as this Singapore Convention on Mediation. So, Bin Cheng is here. International commercial mediation provides businesses with an opportunity to preserve partnerships while resolving conflicts efficiently. That's an advantage that arbitration or litigation may not always offer. Global exposure also helps us to appreciate that while the principles of mediation, such as neutrality, confidentiality, and voluntary participation, are universal, but their practice may be culturally attuned. The way people communicate, perceive hierarchy, or express disagreement can vary widely across societies. A truly effective mediator, therefore, must be culturally literate as well as procedurally adept. I wish to commend Nivaaran for creating this international platform. Over the years, your summer school has become a space where experienced practitioners, academics, and aspiring mediators can meet, share insights, and learn from each other. The diversity of perspectives represented here enriches the learning process immeasurably. I think this is one very effective platform to exchange the best practices. What stands out about your approach to the balance between theory and practice. The historical and legal perspectives provide the intellectual scaffolding, the stimulated exercises, and real-life studies breathe life into these concepts. This combination prepares participants not just to understand mediation, but to practice it effectively. As earlier referred to, the Mediation Act of 2023 is undoubtedly a giant leap in giving effect to mediation in India as a formal means of dispute resolution by not only facilitating mediation, but also enforcing mediated settlement agreements, providing for a body for registration of mediators, and encouraging community mediation. I think enforcement part is extremely important, that where through mediation some settlement take place, it should be treated at par with a court decree and a court order. As we look to the future, mediation is poised to play an even greater role in global justice delivery. Let me share some trends and challenges that I believe will shape the field. First, I wanted to share on the integration with technology, from AI-assisted case analysis to virtual reality environments for complex simulations. Technology will offer new tools, but mediators must ensure that these tools enhance, not diminish, human connection. Second issue which I really want to share is about expansion into new sectors. Mediation is increasingly being applied in healthcare disputes, environmental negotiations, and even public policy formulation. These areas require mediators to acquire sector-specific knowledge while upholding core mediation principles. I therefore firmly believe that you will also give a lot of concentration on the subject specialized orientation courses as an effective tool of mediation. The other issue which I thought I must share with you is the professionalization and accreditation. As mediations gain sound, there will be a greater push for standardized training, ethical codes, and accreditation mechanisms. Institutes like Nivaaran can lead in setting benchmarks for quality. A benchmark need to be there. I have been talking in the two platforms which I am handling right now, and in fact, very soon I am going to evolve a mechanism of evaluation, assessment of and evaluation of the work performance also. That is a challenge that we are facing in India, particularly in district courts, and I have already taken some initiative in that regard. The next point which I wanted to flag is with regard to public awareness. Let's appreciate that mediation will not reach its full potential unless the public understands its benefit. We need to incentivize. Outreach efforts must therefore go beyond the legal community to engage schools, businesses, and civil societies. Incentivizing nowadays is one of the best, very effective tool of communication, and therefore the benefits must be highlighted at large. To the participants of the summer school, your engagement here has not been an end, but a beginning. You now carry with you not just knowledge, but a responsibility, particularly my dear young friend mediators. You are to apply the principles you have learned, to spread awareness about mediation, and to uphold the values of neutrality, empathy, and creativity in dispute resolution. In a world often polarized by rhetoric and quick to resort to adversarial postures, mediators are the white bridge builders. You work in the space between differences, not to erase them, but to connect them in ways that lead to constructive solutions. Therefore, always remember, every successful mediation, whether it resolves a billion-dollar dispute or a neighborhood disagreement, contributes to a culture of dialogue. And a culture of dialogue is the surest foundation for peace, justice, and human dignity. I would like to conclude by saying that let me return to an idea I began with. Mediation is not just about settling dispute. It's about sustaining relationships and enabling communities to move forward. It embodies the belief that in every conflict there lies the seed of cooperation. If only someone is willing to nurture it. I therefore congratulate Nivaaran for the success of the 6th Virtual International Summer School on Mediation, which indeed is a successful attempt for nurturing that seed. I commend the faculty for their dedication. I wish all the participants the very best as you carry this learning into your professional and personal lives. May you be the ambassadors of dialogue in a world that desperately needs it. Thank you very much. Thank you for giving me this time.
Thank you, Justice Surya. Your observations regarding mediations were very enlightening and insightful. We are grateful for your encouragement for Nivaaran and that you could spare your time for the ceremony today. Thank you so much. I now request Ms. Abha Sharma, Advocate Mediator and Trustee Nivaaran, to give the closing remarks.
Thank you, Prabha. Honorable Ms. Chief Guest, Honorable Mr. Justice Surya, Honorable Judge of the Supreme Court of India, Guest of Honor Chuan Meng, CEO, Singapore International Mediation Center, Brian Spear, speakers, moderators, organizing committee members, distinguished participants, and most importantly, our very dear students from the world. Greetings to all joining us from across the world. As we officially conclude the thoughtful, insightful, and enlightening journey of the 6th International Summer School in Virtual Mediation Summer School 2025, I, Abha Sharma, Advocate and Mediator at the Supreme Court of India, and one of the Nivaaran's trustee, would hold you back for only few minutes for the closing remarks on behalf of Team Nivaaran, without which we wouldn't have justice to the event. Let me begin by extending my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed Chief Guest, Justice Surya, Honorable Judge of the Supreme Court of India, for gracing the occasion with his presence and thought-provoking insights. Your words, Lordship, were not just inspiring, but send a strong reminder of the crucial and imperative role that mediation plays in getting disputes to a close and towards the end, nurturing a just, compassionate, and peaceful society. India had always valued mediation. Let me remind you that Lord Krishna, himself a god incarnate, attempted to mediate and prevent Kurukshetra war by negotiating a peaceful resolution between the Pandavas and Kauravas. Mediation continues to play a key role even today, just as it did in the Dwapar Yuga, not more. Over the past 10 days, we have witnessed mediation in its various forms, from its historical roots of the innovation of online platform, from the fine art of negotiation and advocacy to the exploring passe, ethics, and even the deeper connection between the mediation and the UN Sustainable Development Goals. It has been an immersive, interactive, and deeply rewarding experience. A very special thanks to our esteemed speakers for generously sharing your time, wisdom, and experience with us. Each of you added immense value by shedding light on the vital topics to educate, inspire all of us here. A word of appreciation for our moderators who skillfully steered each session, ensuring a rich dialogue with a clarity of thought and engagement throughout. We deeply appreciate our global participants and students who joined us across the various continents and time zone. Your presence made this truly an international gathering. Your active engagement, insightful questions, and shared reflections helped us create a collaborative learning space that extended far beyond screens and time zones. You have been the pulse of this summer school. Our sincere thanks to our organizer, Mr. Santhanam Krishnan, whose vision, planning, and tireless efforts have made this summer school a success. I would particularly like to thank our incredible technical team of Rahul, Rohit, and Keshav for their tireless effort in curating and coordinating this 10 days journey. Your dedication has been the backbone of the summer school, ensuring that every session ran smoothly with minimal glitches and maximum efficiency. You turned the virtual platform into a seamless learning environment. I also want to acknowledge the incredible collaboration with our partners, the Commonwealth Lawyers Association and Singapore International Mediation Center. Your belief in the value of this initiative and support throughout helped us widen the reach of the depth in the summer school. As we conclude this summer school, I hope this is not just an end, but a beginning of continued dialogue, deeper reflection, and bolder application of the mediation principles to our profession and those who touch us in the various ways in daily lives. Let us carry forward the essence of empathy, neutrality, confidentiality, and self-determination, the very values we explored together. Thank you all once again for being a part of the journey. May you go forth with knowledge, connections, and a renewed sense of responsibility towards peaceful resolution, collaboration, and peaceful solutions who can be more involved in constructive issues. Thank you and namaskar. Unmute.
Thank you, Abba. On behalf of Nivaaran, Mediators of Supreme Court, I extend our thanks to all who have participated in our International Virtual Mediation Summer School, and we hope to see you in our next summer school. Stay safe and take care. Namaskar.